type the exact same question into ChatGPT, Claude, and Gemini, and here is what happens. You get 3 good answers. Not 1 right and 2 wrong, 3 genuinely useful answers that are just different. So which one is the best? Here's the thing. That is the wrong question, and asking it is quietly costing you the right tool for the job. Because these 3 are not ranked 1, 2, 3 like a leaderboard. On raw intelligence, they are so close it is basically a tie, and we'll prove that with real numbers later. Where they actually pull apart is somewhere more useful, in what they can make, how much they can hold, where they already live, and what they cost. In other words, they are not 3 rivals fighting over 1 crown, they are 3 specialists. So the question that actually helps you isn't which AI is smartest, it's which one you should open for this specific job. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly that. For everyday chat, for coding, for reading long documents, for research, for writing, for making images and video, and for your wallet. No hype, no fanboy nonsense, and no single winner crowned. Because honestly, there isn't one. Let's get into it.
Quick introductions, and I'll keep them even. First, ChatGPT, made by OpenAI. This is the one most people mean when they just say AI. It's the default, by far the biggest reach, somewhere around 900 million people using it every week as of early 2026, and it does a little bit of everything inside one app. Second, Claude, made by Anthropic. Think of it as the careful craftsman. It built its reputation on clean writing and reliable code, and it tends to give calmer, more considered replies. Third, Gemini, made by Google. Its superpower is simple. It is already inside the apps you probably use all day: Gmail, Docs, Android, Search. Now, one warning about model names. This is the single most fast-moving fact in the whole video, so let me flag it loudly. As of the middle of 2026, the top models are, roughly, GPT 5.5 for ChatGPT, an Opus or Fable class model for Claude, and Gemini 3.1 Pro shipping now, with 3.5 Pro rolling out. Write those names down in pencil because they will change within months. And that is exactly why this video is about lasting strengths, not this week's version number. One rule I'm holding to the entire time: there is no overall winner here. 3 specialists, 3 different jobs. Let's start with the facts that aren't up for debate. Before anyone's opinion comes into it, there are 3 things about these tools that are just facts, checkable, not arguable. The first is context. That means how much a model can hold in its head at once, how long a document or conversation it can actually work with. And here's the surprise: they're nearly tied. All 3 top models handle around 1 million tokens at the developer level. That is hundreds of thousands of words, several long books held in mind at once. There is exactly one exception. Gemini's rolling out model pushes to 2 million, double everyone else, the largest of any shipping model. But one honest catch you need to hear: that 1 million number is the developer figure. Inside the free or $20 app, what you actually get is smaller, and it depends on your plan. So don't assume the app hands you a whole million. The second fact is modalities, a fancy word for what each one can actually make. This is the cleanest difference of all. ChatGPT makes text, images, and voice. Its video generator, Sora, was shut down in April of 2026, so no video for now. Gemini makes the most: text, images, real video through a model called Veo, and voice, in and out. And Claude? Claude makes text, only text. No image generation, no audio, no video. You can show it a picture, but it can't make one. That is not a knock, it's just a fact, and it's a big one if your work touches media. The third fact is price. All 3 cluster around $20 a month for their main paid plan, but the ladders differ, and we'll climb those later. Facts first. Now let's match tools to jobs. Job 1, everyday chat, the daily driver. Questions, emails, brainstorming, explaining things. And honestly, this one is a toss-up. All 3 are excellent, and the tie is real, so pick by habit and by where you already are. If you want the one everybody's talking about with the broadest kit in a single app, that's ChatGPT.
It's the default for a reason. If you live inside Gmail and Google Docs all day, Gemini is right there, no new app to open. And if you want calmer, more thoughtful writing-first replies, a lot of people reach for Claude. There is no wrong answer. Job 2, coding. Now it gets interesting. And this is a genuine close call, mostly between Claude and ChatGPT, with Gemini right behind on value. Here's the nuance. For correctness on hard, high-stakes code, Claude has a strong reputation. On one tough, real-world coding test, its top model scores highest of any you can actually buy. For fast, agentic coding, where the AI runs a whole chain of steps and tools on its own, GPT 5.5 tends to be quicker and more efficient, and it leads a different coding benchmark. And Gemini is competitive on both, and usually the cheapest per step. So who wins coding? Nobody cleanly. It depends on whether you value careful correctness or fast automation. And I want to be honest that reasonable engineers pick differently. This is a debate, not a fact. Job 3, long documents. You've got a giant contract, a whole code base, a stack of PDFs, and you want the AI to read all of it at once. Here, Gemini has a real edge, and it's a hard fact, not a vibe. Remember that context number? Gemini's rolling out model holds 2 million tokens, double the others, so it can fit more into a single session without losing the thread. Now, to be fair, 1 million tokens is already massive, and Claude and ChatGPT both handle big documents very well. But if the goal is as much as humanly possible in one go, Gemini's window is simply the biggest. Job 4, research with sources. You want an answer that cites where it came from, not just a confident-sounding paragraph. All three now have a deep research mode that browses the web and writes you a report, and this is genuinely close. But Gemini gets a slight edge for 2 reasons. It grounds its answers in live Google search, and it can also research across your own stuff, your Gmail, your Drive, if you let it. That's a reach the others don't quite match. One caution that applies to all 3, AI still gets citations wrong sometimes, so check the sources before you trust them. And if pure research is your entire job, dedicated tools exist too. But among these 3, Gemini edges it.
Job 5, creative and professional writing. This is where Claude has a real reputation. A lot of writers say its prose has a more natural voice and follows instructions on tone more faithfully. But I have to be straight with you. This is taste, not a measurement. There is no benchmark for good writing, and plenty of people get excellent results from ChatGPT and Gemini too. So try all 3 on your own writing, and trust your own ear. It's a preference, not a fact. Job 6, voice and making media. And here, the story flips hard, because this is exactly where Claude can't play. If you want to generate an image, a video, or a voice track, Claude simply doesn't do it. It's a text tool, full stop. ChatGPT is strong here. It makes very photorealistic images and has a natural-sounding voice mode, though again, its video generator is gone for now. And Gemini is the widest of all 3. Images, voice, and actual video generation through VO, all in one place. So for anyone whose work touches visuals or audio, this round isn't close, and it isn't Claude. It's Gemini first, ChatGPT close behind. Credit where it's due. 3 more jobs, quicker now. Job 7, ecosystem. Where does the AI already live? Gemini has a structural advantage here that is hard to beat because Google built it straight into Gmail, Docs, Android, Chrome, and Search. For billions of people, it is already there. No new app, no new habit. ChatGPT counters with the biggest world of third-party plugins and integrations, and the most mindshare. It's the one other tools build for first. Claude is the thinnest here. It leans on developers and on an open standard it created called MCP, which fairly much of the industry has now adopted. But for an everyday person, Gemini's already there advantage is real. Job 8, the free tier. All 3 give you a genuinely capable free version, which is great news for everyone. Gemini edges ahead by bundling a bit of everything. Some of its best model, a few deep research reports a month, basic image generation, and storage, all woven into apps you already use.
ChatGPT's free tier is very capable too, though it now shows ads, and so does Gemini's. Claude's free tier is clean and ad-free, but remember, text only. Job 9, price. For the main paid plan, it is basically a wash. All three sit right around $20 a month as of mid-2026, and please check current pricing because this moves constantly. The differences are at the edges. Gemini has the cheapest entry plan, under $8, and it's the cheapest to run for developers. ChatGPT reaches highest with a $200 power tier. So on price, it depends on where on the ladder you sit, but if cheapest overall matters most, that tilts Gemini.
Now the part most comparison videos skip, and it's the most important one. You'll see headlines screaming that one of these is the smartest AI. Be skeptical. Here's the reality as of mid-2026. On the big public benchmarks, the standard tests everyone quotes, these three are separated by single percentage points, not tens of points, ones. On one famous coding test, the top ChatGPT and Claude models land about 1/10 of a point apart. That is a rounding error. On a hard science reasoning test, Gemini leads. On an agentic coding test, ChatGPT leads. Different tests, different leaders, and the ranking flips from month to month as new versions ship. So anyone who tells you one of these is simply the smartest as a plain fact is overselling. So what is a fact? The stuff we covered. How much context each holds, what each can make, what each costs, where each already lives. Those are checkable, and they actually decide your day. And what is a debate? Which one is smartest? Here's the kicker. Every model name I said earlier will be old news soon. That is not a weakness in this video. It's the whole point. Chasing the monthly leaderboard is a trap. Matching the tool to your job is a skill that lasts. So here's where you've landed, and it's genuinely freeing. You do not need all three. You need to match the tool to the job. Quick cheat sheet, and then we're done. For careful writing and correctness critical code, a lot of people reach for Claude. Just remember it can't make images or video. For long documents, for anything that lives inside Google, and for making media, images, voice, video, Gemini is the widest and often the cheapest. And for one app that does a bit of everything with the biggest ecosystem behind it, ChatGPT is the comfortable default. Or, and this is the honest move, just run all three free tiers side by side for a week, throw your real work at them, and let the job pick the winner. Because that is the real answer to which AI is best. It's not a model, it's a match. Notice what we did there. No single champion, because there isn't one. Just three specialists and a smarter question. If that reframe was useful, subscribe. This whole channel is about making the tech make sense without the hype. Next time, we're going one level deeper into what one of these tools can really do. Until then, match the tool to the job. And remember, this is educational. Always check the current specs and pricing before you buy, because in AI, this month's facts are next month's history. See you in the next one.